to go live in there.
Yeah, I lowered the mic a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I think we good, yeah. Fuck
All right. And it's just your individual's name, right? SS Taj and Terry P.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You don't have like a group name like the Supersonic. Okay.
I've been brainstorming, but
Yeah. You know how when earlier today when I forgot it. Ooh, that shit was tough. I think. I gotta remember it. I don't remember it.
All right, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, right now.
Check. Sound rolling. What's poppin', P-Town? Welcome back to the Rip City Basement, bridging the gap between hip-hop fanatics demanding to hear technique and today's electronic session. My name is Bren Boy, and today I'm sitting with my man for the first time in the studio. Please welcome to the show, SS Taj. What's going on, brother?
Yeah. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, it's good to have you in the studio with me, brother. How's everything going?
All good. Closer to where we trying to get to.
There we go. That's what I like to hear. Today we're going to talk about a few different things, but what I want to know first is, for those who are listening who don't know who you are, tell everybody what you do with music and how you got your start.
What I do with music as for, what do you mean by how are you saying it?
Do you sing, rap, dance, produce?
Yeah, so I started off doing like I guess you can call it like a conscious type rap, and slowly started getting into like melodics. Always been big in like R&B, and then like indie pop and stuff like that. So I try to find a way to incorporate making like I guess honest, genuine, conscious music and using it in different style. Started some ways back around when I was like 17 and kept going from there, and it just kept going. So it got me to where I am now.
That's what's up. And what was the first moment that you realized that music was something that you wanted to pursue, like to that next level? It was like no longer just the hobby in the bedroom, but you were like, yo, I'm gonna do this for real. What was that moment or thing that happened in life that made you realize like I could do this?
Honestly, I don't want to say acceptance, but I feel like when you get to a point in life and you start having like a certain surrounding you grew up around, and then you used to, I guess, let's say beforehand of the years, you growing up, finding your strengths and weaknesses as a kid under your family, you don't really see much. But then when you get around certain people, then you start getting like appreciations for certain things you do. And I feel like that's what makes you who you are and give you a name around where you're from, who you are, like, oh, you're known for this, you're known for that. I think just being around people having certain acceptance that I've never had at a point, and just telling me that I'm good at something where I'm like, oh shit. And I've always been into like the entertaining parts of everything and the artistic parts, but to have someone say, you know, this is good at what you're doing, like keep doing that, that's when it like pushed me to the edge. Like, okay, bet.
Gotcha.
Just seeing around everyone around me, like just people, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can possibly do something with this.
So you got some validation from your peers.
Yeah.
When they saw what you were doing, how many of them was like, oh my gosh, Taj has got the juice, let's run with them? And how many was like, oh, I don't know, I know him from before, back in the day, I don't believe this.
Nobody.
You know what I mean?
Nobody.
Everybody
I
was
mean,
gunning
it was a few. I started off with my man's Rob G and my homie Mills, and then we kind of like had this phase of you know, instead of trying to fit in, we'll do our own thing. You know, knowing people but never getting opportunities for anything. I guess I don't know, it's rather being the youngest or just being last to doing something. And I don't know. It's crazy because that's a whole nother perspective as well, because it's like you get to a point where it's like, damn, it really don't even matter if people see what you can do or not. It's just, you know, you trust in yourself, because a lot of people that's usually like, they got the juice, don't be having it no more after a while. So it's like, you'd be surprised who would do what they do. You know, you can't sleep on nobody, and I'll never underestimate nobody, you know, because you just never know what people will bring because of their experience. But everything's in a moment, so I can understand how people feel like, nah, I ain't worried about that person. That person ain't nothing or whatever. I mean, when you're young and you're just looking at someone from right there and then, you will have a lot to say. But then, of course, I mean, that's how it works, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's how it works.
Let's talk a little bit about your upbringing and where you were at in your childhood and like, you know, through the schooling years. What was it like for SS Taj before the music?
Oh, man. I that's what made music so special because I never could figure that out because I moved around so much. I went to so many high schools. Mom was sick, so we moved around a lot. Never been in like any like real solid stable position long enough to be like I know this area, I know this, so I'm like pretty much always a new kid and everything. And that just gets you to a point of like you just start creating and figuring out who you are and yourself and everything, and it puts you in a position of a lot of experience. And I feel like I'm just visiting, I'm just here like just to journey across this life because I don't really have an actual setting, but anywhere I go I feel like I light some type of shine or have some type of message to give. So I feel like it's more of a purpose for me going through all that rather than what a lot of people I guess says.
Got you. How much of your music is like reflections of your life experience, and how much of it is like just a creative storytelling mission for you? Or do you even think about it like that?
Yeah, I do actually. I say it's both. It deals with every emotion, whether it's something that you just seen, something you heard, something you know, something you experienced, somewhere you want to be, somewhere you don't want to be, somewhere you don't want to be again. And I'm like, so what's interesting about my music is because I'm big on like talking about things that I try to like not have any way of like harming anyone, but giving truth to it, whether it's light and dark. Um, I talk about a lot of spirituality, and I'm big on like talking about the positives and the negatives, and that comes with I think that helps the creation of my music to be so unique and different because it's like if you really pay attention and listen, I'm actually like really giving a message, but I'm using it like in energy. But it's like if you just hear it for what you hear, then you get a lot just a good melodic, a fun, a dancing beat and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I really try to like give out that understanding, you know.
For sure. Like a lot of people historically they say love is the highest frequency or the highest vibration, but they actually have a study about it recently. Authenticity
Yeah.
registers higher than love. So it's almost like you're saying, I'm gonna give you the light, the dark. I'm just gonna be honest. That's more service to the listener
Yeah.
than just giving them the pretty flowers on a Sunday. It's like
Yeah.
some people have Tuesdays too, and they're not that pretty.
Yeah.
So if you can mix the two, and that's really giving people that perspective. To appreciate the sun, you got to know the rain,
Mhm.
and you're giving them a mixture of both.
Yeah.
That sounds like
That's when you reach Christ conscious for real.
I love that, brother. What one of your songs so far that you've made has been the most meaningful to you in that sense? Because you talk about the spiritual and the uplifting stuff for what other people perceive it as, but how about for you? Like, which one have you made that just brought everything out and just gave you that high vibrational feeling?
I think recently is Arya because it's like it was so natural and it was done easy, but it was done easy because it was done honest and it was done in a way because like yeah, I do have like low key like pirate's tongue. I'm pretty explicit, but I'm honest. That's how I am with my creation. Like I'm not here to like make it look nice or look sweet because it's not like that's not me. I'm a really cool, respectful person, but when it comes to creation, I'm pretty raw with it. So I always try to like give that. Shit, can you say that last part again?
I think you answered it just great, man.
Yeah.
The song that you said it's Aria,
Yeah,
right?
Arya. Yeah, it'll go Arya. It'll be Arya. That's just yeah, just me being honest and being the truth and like not feeling bad about it and not having to second guess it because I feel like once you start dancing to your own instrumental, then you start understanding okay, like this song is honest and that's all it takes is to be successful is just being true to yourself and honest with what you're doing and you don't feel no type of way. You don't gotta lie. You don't gotta hide. You don't gotta move weird. You don't gotta feel any way because you was honest. When you're honest, you don't give. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't care much about what people think or how they feel.
Yes, I like that. It's actually a disservice to the listeners to think like, oh, let me say what I think they want me to
Yeah,
say. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
It's like, no. The real gift in the art is to just be your authentic self, and the people who need to hear it,
Yeah.
it's gonna resonate with them per song.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I like that, bro. I like where your head's at. Um, You know, I was curious, what do you do to stay motivated and inspired in creating? You know, every song can't be the same. You know, it's got to be something fresh. So, do you do something that kind of keeps you on your toes, or do you have like a ritual or something that kind of keeps you inspired?
You know what's funny? I kind of go through these things with myself when I create. The honest truth is just it sounds so like corny, but it's really just staying true to yourself. When you are, it's almost like when they say when you master the basics, you can learn how to go here, 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 and there with doing your mastery.
Mm-hmm.
I just know my basic format so well that I can do this, 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 and this with it. I don't have a different trick. I've learned who I am. I learned how to do it. I learned my truth. I learned my honesty. It makes it easier for me to go like this. I'm not like no extra beyond or whatever. Mm-hmm. And every artist has their to go thing, even if you like a painter or a dancer or something you can break off into something else.
Yeah.
You gotta have a pop before you can go out here and start whatever. So it's not really that because I mean there's so many different things to do and try and recycle and restyle, slow down, speed up, change the pattern, add in samples and these things, but it's just like when you just have fun with it, it comes and you just gotta kinda take the risk at that point if it's gonna be good or bad. And I just take the risk every time to not care if it's gonna be good or bad. And it seems like for me on my side that it always comes out good. And I'm grateful for that. And it's really not hard. Just stick to you, doing you. Don't ever create music off of what's popping and what sounds good because that's working. No, when you stick to your stuff, it's easier to be like, I want to try this with my stuff. I want to try this with my stuff. I want to try that with my stuff. I want to incorporate this with this. I know what I can and can't do. I know how high I can sing and how low I can't. Like, it's just knowing yourself and then let me season this into this. Let me put this in the pot. It gets really easy, but it's not easy. But it's just how you look at it or read music, I guess.
Bro, we're smiling right now because we get it. Like it's like we were talking about. It's so hard to explain, but if you know, you know.
Yeah. You can say
like,
so
like
much.
What you're saying
but...
is a walking contradiction, but it's like it actually makes a lot of sense. You know
It's just like it. I don't know. It depends. We all connect with things differently, and it works for us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It works for us. It's our formula. It's our method.
Yes, sir.
And that's all that matters. You don't gotta. I've never done the music theory it had to be. I never done. I gotta make sure I gotta have a chorus here, a bridge here. I just create.
I like that. How important is the production for you and working with other producers hand in hand, or are you the type to more so just shop for beats and have like crazy beat selection? Because we've listened to some of your music on air here, and you have variety in the beat selection, but the beats are fire. So I'm curious, like, how much of these are just like, oh, I picked that beat and I did my thing with it?
A lot of them I just picked my beat and did my thing with it. I don't really, besides these two, because I don't really know anyone personally like that. But I also get contacted a lot by a lot of foreigner producers, and I don't know. It's just I'm very, very like picky with production, that's just how I've been. And it's like I like things, but I like things that say this is me. Something that I know I'm gonna get on no one else can do, but they can do them. But I don't. It takes me a minute to find beats. It really does. Or to hear it because I can do them, but just because I can do them doesn't mean I'm gonna execute them.
Right.
I want something I know I'm gonna execute, and I don't know until I'm like going over it. I'll give it about a week, and then it's like, okay, this beat is too advanced for me right now, or I gotta come back, and then I'm more advanced, or is this working? And if it doesn't align at any moment, then I'm like, okay, it's cool, but I'm not finna lie, or do whatever just to make it sound cool. So if I can't do it at this moment, it's gonna have to sit out.
I got it.
But by then, I'm already getting more stuff, so something's coming up.
And then one day you might revisit that beat. And
exactly.
You just had the right amount of coffee that day. And you spaz on it. One take Jake type thing.
Exactly. And that's why I have a lot of music. And sometimes you like, this is. But I do make sure. One thing about me is I make sure I release. I'm going to do it no matter the time. I'm going to do it. I don't sit on music. Never been that type of person. I've never really been the I need views, this. I love the music first. I'm going to release everything I do. I'm going to own everything I do. I'm going to make sure everyone gets their ends off they do. I'm gonna make sure if I'm doing it, I'm getting paid to do it,
Mhm.
and that's just how it is. Like, but I'm not gonna think too hard. I'm gonna just be grateful, put it out there. It's good. I did it. You know.
That's
but
what's up. I like that.
yeah.
What's poppin' P-Town? You are listening to the Rip City Basement, bridging the gap between hip-hop fanatics demanding to hear technique and today's electronic obsession. This episode, we're sitting with SS Taj. We're talking about music, life, creativity, all the good stuff. This episode is sponsored by Inadot. If you haven't heard about Inadot and you're a producer, Inadot.com. Turn your music into an e-commerce business, a full e-commerce business, okay? You want to sell your beats? Sell your beats. You want to sell your merch? Sell your merch. We take 0%. That's what they say right at the top of their website. We take 0%. All of your revenue goes straight to your pocket. Producers, artists, if you're looking to turn your music into an e-commerce business, go to inadot.com. Taj, talking about producers, you actually brought with you one of my friends, Terry P. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is this your third time on the basement?
This is my third time. I didn't even know.
It is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So we did one back in the COVID days
Yeah.
with Rose Gulshan. Then
Yeah.
we were here with Bass Dog. And
Yeah.
now you're here with SS Taj. How do you wiggle your way into all these interviews, man? What the heck?
Man, we all go back to day one, bro. Like all of us, like Rose Goshan, that's my brother. Mike, like that's my cousin. And then, we like cousins. So we all, doing our thing. So when we come together, we always make sure we bring each other.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, have you produced for SS Taj? Have you made some of his beats before?
We have. We've been in the studio, brainstorming over the years, but like we just gotta make sure, it all, come out like the way we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we gotta do like our things on. Sometimes we be in seasons where like, I've been in a season where I was just, on my fatherhood type stuff. He was in this season where he was just straight working.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta find that right time to, do what we gotta do. But
Yeah, get there. We for sure gonna get there.
for real.
That's what's up. Now, you've been producing for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest part about getting beats out? Because, like Taj was talking about, he gets hit up all the time by people from different countries, probably some
Yeah.
people from Portland, all over the place. How do you separate yourself and instead of like getting lost in the sauce of just another producer sending me beats? What is like, the challenge that you've learned to overcome to like get them in the hands of artists on the rise like Taj?
All right, this is how I do it. Because a lot of rappers be lazy, and a lot of rappers be saying they gonna do something and don't do it. Like, I don't know. So like sending beats, everybody sends beats. All producers send a whole bunch of rappers beats. Like, there's producers right now who send me beats. They send me loops. I gotta block all of them because I'm like, you know what? I want everything to be original, just like a rapper, just like an artist. I want everything to be original. Like sometimes, like some people use samples, but not me. But well, back to what was you saying? The question?
Yeah, I was curious, just like how do you separate yourself from the other, just a bunch of producers
Okay.
sending beats? How do you get them into the hands and actually get them to listen?
So this is what I do. I usually invite who I want to come to the studio with me. I'll play them through the sound, Then I'll play their sound so I can hear where they coming from. I'm like, okay, give me a couple weeks, I'll come back with something. And then what I've been doing in the past is after I find out, me in the middle, that bridge, that can bridge the gap, we work on the album. We lock in. I just dropped the tape with we re-released the tape that me and Mike did, but I just dropped the tape with a Notebook of Contempt, and that's what we did mainly. Like I played through my sound, he played through his sound. We met in the middle, and it's been like not rushed. It's been like over a year and a half we've been working on it. Just tightening the screws, finding them pockets, and then we just did our thing. So we launched. So that's really what I do. I just like to get in the same atmosphere with people. Sometimes like I might hear a beat that I might rap on, but I might be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe I can't make time for it because I'm busy with my schedule. But like actually being in that atmosphere and feeling the vibes and the energy, that's when real energy meets energy and all that. So that's what we really been doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It is a whole different game when you can get into the studio with an artist and pull out what they got in their head,
Exactly.
As a producer, you're listening and figuring, okay, I got something for your ass right here. And
For
I
real.
know Notebook, he was one of the artists, my first roster of artists for the the Rip City Basement showcases. You know, he was still in high school, coming out and doing my shows.
Yeah.
And he'd bring a crowd, man. People knew his music. You know, he had an interesting style. You know, melodic flows,
Mhm.
right? Is it some of the same type of stuff, or is he elevated from there, or what's is it? I haven't heard from him in a while, so
Yeah.
it's cool to hear that he's actually dropping.
No, yeah, it's he's still, you know, it's still melodic. It kind of went to that in the middle of the tape. It was kind of a season. It was a dark season. Some of the beats in there is kind of like still melodic, still kind of like kind of remind me of like I'll say like Yeet or like Future, but like we went back to like I can't really describe the sounds, but I might have to come back.
You just have
I'm about
to
to
play
come
it
back.
for me.
Yeah.
You just have to either send me something that I can play.
I got
you.
you.
I like to be the first. You know me. I like to be the first radio DJ to give it a spin. You know, so I can say, hey, that was me. I played that first, right?
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. Congrats on all the progress on that. I was curious, Taj. What do you think this scene in Portland? You know, dealing with other producers like Terry, but there's also a lot of competition in Portland, right?
Yeah.
Or competition, right? People
Yeah.
say, you know, what do you think this scene in Portland, the hip hop and the music scene in general, is missing? What do you think, you know, could be like a change that could come that could just benefit everybody in your eyes? What do you think is the thing that the scene is missing here?
Oh man, I don't want to be that type of person, but I really try my best to not think of what's best for what's going on for everybody else or what everyone else is doing. Because I could say a lot, but it's just almost kind of like who am I to judge and tell someone how to create or what they want to create or what's going to make something sound real or cool. I really don't care about anyone trying to prove like what's real, what's dope, what's the greatest. But I do think in general with ourselves as humans is if we just really appreciate who we are and stick to what we know, what we do, it'll make everything else we do much more dope, you know, and that's for creating because I do understand there's so much beauty without here, but if everybody stopped looking in somebody else's plate, you know, for example, what Atlanta got going on, what New York got going on, what LA got going on, what Texas got going on. If y'all worry about what y'all got going on and y'all all play, y'all will really see what y'all have that will make people be like, you know what, I want to see what's going on out there instead of trying to take pieces that work from somewhere to get seen because it's like, this is a beautiful place. Like, there's cutthroat everywhere, but I don't see why people want to be like so like cutthroat. And it's like, especially if it's like, come on, man. Like I said, I've lived so many places. You'd be surprised, like how cut I am, like, or how I just move just off of what I show. Like it's easier to see my image and be like, okay, he's cool, rather than. But it's like, why? Why feel like you gotta be something that you are? If that's the case, it's like you have so much nature and beauty out here. This is a place that you want to get away. It's a lot of stuff, whatever. But it's art out here. It's talent out here. It's creativity out here. That's what it's about. That's what it was originally about. And we got all this stuff going on around the world where you know everybody want to be this hit and it's like this crazy destruction. And we really don't have to be that. That's not anything to follow the chase or to be. You know, love who you are and what you got going on, and trust yourself in your process.
Dig it like a shovel. One thing I like about you is you actually travel around the state of Oregon. You don't just stay in Portland.
Yeah.
You know, we actually got a chance to link up in Medford recently.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out to the basement party. That was dope to see you there.
I appreciate you inviting me.
What were you doing down there? Because I heard when we were talking on the phone, you were saying you were linking with like a group of creatives and y'all were like spending a weekend together just like really creative zone. What was that like, and what was like the concept of that?
You know, it's actually funny this time. So normally I go down there. We work. Shout out to BXG. It's a group of creatives, and we pretty much come together, do our thing, but everyone's still individuals. These dudes are like mad talented. I'm talking about some Dominic Fike shit, like from excuse my language, from like playing the instruments to the singing and everything. They're really dope, and we're supposed to be out there creating this stuff. I always do them. I'm really close to all of them. And it's funny because my moment of going out there, everybody was kind of work week. Woman was going to LA to go link up with a producer and stuff. So we kind of didn't get as much as we wanted done, but we did enjoy that. Like, it's funny because I remember when you was hitting me up and you was like, you know, it might be a good place just to get away and clear some headspace.
Mm-hmm.
I went out there thinking that, like, all right, it was just going to be A to B. And I found out, like, now I'm on the boats. Now I'm over here. Now I'm in the lake. Now I'm in the river, in the water, jumping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, it's crazy how he was telling me that because I'm like, I came out here thinking it was just going to be something small, and I did way more than what I thought. And it was better because it's like I didn't have to, like, just go hard and focus on creating music. I got some time to, like, actually live life, to enjoy. And I think that was so great about the trip. But then I went to see you, and it was just, it completed everything. And I was like, yeah, it was a good vibe.
That's dope.
It was needed. It was a getaway for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's beautiful down there too. You know, there's so much, you know, serenity to just get away from the busyness of the city.
Man, the mountains and everything is ridiculous. Like, a couple people on me, Trevin took me out to like this crazy ass mountain spot, and I'm just like, yo, like I'm sitting here, I'll just meditate in this, like just I trip out and just be chilling there. It was nice. It's really nice over here in the Northwest, man, and like I don't know, in a certain way, don't come out here because we don't need y'all taking. It's nice. Like I already have people think it's just it's not that. Just so it's like we don't get to a point of destroying something that's still natural to its earth, to its land, to its nature. Still got its trees, its plants, its water. It's all this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the surroundings is nice. The countryside, it's like it's dope. It's dope. You know, and there's a lot of potential out here in every way, you know, as long as we just stay healthy and keep doing us.
I feel it. Now, just yesterday, you released a new song.
Yeah.
Tell us the name of the song and how this came to fruition. Did it start with the beat? Was it the words? How did you come up with this?
Definitely start with the beat. This one did. It's called Jubilance Anthem. I wanted something. I was like, you know, summer's coming up. It's gonna be a vibe. I wanted something catchy, you know, positive. I was singing back. I know a lot of people's been going through a lot of stuff throughout this whole year, and it's been a lot of negativity. So I'm trying to put something more on the upbeat to give a good positive vibe, a good structure. You know, just get it right back in, tap in. You know, because I did drop 3 songs beforehand. You know, you do have Kirk Obang, and then you do have my Before You Judge Me project still out. So I've kind of just been feeding the people, but I wanted to make sure, you know, there's a little bit like leadway where I can just drop some, you know, fun stuff and things like that. But the song is just for a good vibe and good tempo, you know. It's nothing, you know, you gotta think about too hard. Highway music, workout music, when you eat, chilling, wake up, sleeping, whatever, and you just want to feel good.
And the melody at the end was hella catchy, you know. It come from the blue dabba dee dabba die flow, but you kind of added some seasoning to it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
some
I had to
flavor.
change up the words, you know. I had the same pattern. I don't know if they can get you for something like that. We could talk maybe down the road, but I did change up the words and I tried to whatever. But I definitely wanted something familiar, you know, that I can give a vibe and just bring something back because I mean. I don't know, it's just funny because right now it's a good time that everybody's on, you know, the little Kanye stuff, bringing back the classics with the old and trying to replace, you know, putting the songs, you know, like Doechii did with whatever. So it's just weird. It's a coincidence, but it's nice, and yeah, I'm just having more fun with it and not trying to be so serious where it destroys me, but it helps me just create and have fun. So that song was really fun to make. It was an accident, I guess you could say. But I just knew I wanted to do something familiar. I knew I wanted to do something crazy. It's experimental. And, yeah, I like experimental stuff. I'm more of like an editor in my head than like anything. I'm a writer. But not, like, you know, I can't just do things off the top. I like connect stuff together.
Respect. How about performances? Do you perform a lot around Oregon?
You know, I used to, then I stopped. It's not an ego thing or nothing like that, but then I noticed, like, okay, like, you know, you do something multiple times, you can get your same results. What are you doing wrong? And I'm like, okay, I ain't doing none of this right. I'm not performing. So then, first off, I made more money, and I made money performing, but I made more money not performing. So I'm like, okay, like, let me figure out this business part first. I'm gonna keep doing what's working out for me, and then what's like doing okay when I do it. It's like, yeah, because the shows are gonna come in, but as long as I, you know, I put myself out there and actually have the right content, have the right people around, you know, the shows are gonna be easily sell. You can sell those in your own backyard at this point. If people fucking with you at that point, you don't need a whole like So I'm just starting to understand how like easier it's starting to become. You know, once you just kind of like put it in your own hands. But you know, have a team. You know, have good people around that can y'all can help each other get it. You know, it's too much to carry yourself, but like it's starting to become easier to understand. Like, this is okay, cool, yeah, like watch.
If your life was to be written in a book by one of your closest friends, what do you think they would title the book?
You know, honestly, I mean, if you put the book in anybody's hand, I don't think they would title it title it anything that you would want like now or who you are. It'll always be like some like what they know you growing up for or some shit, you know. Like so, I wouldn't know, but it'll probably be something I wouldn't like. You know, it's like they're never,
like, though.
you know, they're never gonna actually. The man who came from, or he's this now, he's it now. They ain't like, oh, we used to such and such or this, you know. So
yeah.
I don't know. It'd be something that it'd be funny, but then it'd probably also be some shit that I'd be like, dang, I was like that. You know. So I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't. I don't know. It wouldn't be the. I don't know. Sheesh. You gotta be careful every step you live, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You never know when someone's gonna write a book about you and call it something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are your top 3 favorite artists right now to listen to? Not just rap and hip hop, but artists in general.
I listen to so much. All right, let me try like this.
Today, let me just say that today.
Yeah, all right. I listen to Dominic Fike. I listen to NBA YoungBoy, and why? I'll tell you why. Also, I don't know. It's a lot. It's probably gonna. That's a shuffle. That's on whatever's on shuffle at that point.
Okay.
I don't know. I would say Kendrick, but it's kind of like I've been more in the experimental, so it's kind of on shuffle.
Got you. Yeah. Now you're gonna tell me why.
Because I'm studying.
Studying, okay.
Yeah.
What are you studying from NBA YoungBoy that you feel like you've so far kind of gotten a little game from?
I think more so with him, I guess, is more so deliverance in the interview. It's more so how you say something. Do you mean it what you say? No matter what you saying, and no matter if you know the word or not, right? Like, one thing I know is like, you know, as long as you believe it, they gonna believe it, right? Can you explain it? You know, if you can explain it, then it's just like, okay, yeah. So I listen to everybody at the moment because it's like, yes, I like the music, but I like pretty much every artist I can learn from. I have a favorite on who I'm trying to take from at that moment. What can I get from you at that moment? Why do I like you so much right here? Like, what are you doing that I can't? What do I need to learn? Okay, let me incorporate that with myself. And that's what I do. Like, I like every artist. I do it because I can find something that you can do that I can't. You know, and when I have a favorite artist, it's because it's like, oh yeah, when I figure that out, it's gonna make the music way better. Like, when I figure how to make that me and not try to be you, I'm not trying to be nobody. I'm not trying to take no. But when it's like, okay, how can I get better? What do they have that I don't? Because it's not that far unless you're playing with vocal, you know, A through whatever, you know, tones. But I favor who I'm studying at the moment, especially when it's like, okay, but then like I said, I understand a lot of this is like kind of like an illusion in a way, you know. Like, you can't really focus on what other people got because you don't know what's going on in that room. You know, so.
You seem to me like the type of guy that, with or without the money, the fans, the opportunities, you're gonna do this shit regardless.
Oh, facts.
I feel like there's like so much music inside of you, you can't get it out fast enough.
Yeah.
Am I right? Like, you have so much going on up in that head.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, yeah. You know, I tell myself that a lot. Actually, more than you know, as I always say, like, well, I don't always say, but I have like little quick moments where I'm like, yo, am I gonna get all this out before I leave? And I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's why I'm okay with like having like rough drafts and like things is just hidden because it'll mean something when it's found. Like, I really do believe that I'm kind of like just a little bit ahead in a time period where we're stuck into this certain technology piece, whatever, that it doesn't show how advanced that the creation is. So I don't really like. I don't know. I don't really think too hard about it. I'm grateful of it because I genuinely understand like how far I am in the music, how like whatever. I don't have the best in nothing. I just know how to make good music in whatever pattern, beat, structure you give me. I can give you great music in a low format or in a high format. It doesn't have to like be the best word, but I know how to make it be like, damn, how is this song so good?
Gotcha. And Terry, you know, since you are a man of actually meeting up with artists and getting to know their styles and then taking that information and doing something with it for production, what did you first hear in Taj's music from a producer's standpoint? You know, what did you hear that was like, okay, I'm seeing where he's coming from, I could do this with it? You know, what were those things from a producer's standpoint that you've seen in him?
So first I had to study the flow, study how he coming on it. Pause. But
None of us were thinking it.
I'm just saying, hey, they trolling in the chat on YouTube. They trolling. I had to say it.
Hey, good thing, good thing. Okay, please continue.
I had to see the flow. First and foremost, the tempo that he going with, and then study his like the melodies. And I noticed with certain melodies that you use on your beats, or like all right, I'll start with the vocal melodies. Okay, so the vocal melodies, they're like, okay, I'm trying to find a pocket where he can do that flow. But with the beats, it's kind of like it has to be complex for a producer, but like it would look simple. It would sound simple from the outside listening, but when you're actually doing it, it's like, I don't know, I can't really describe it. It's like a lot of movement within the melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, shit, it's kind of like that rage, but not rage because it could also be like chill. So it's like I gotta find the right frequency, not frequency, but like it's kind of like that right. I don't know. It's kind of like it's heavy. It has to be heavy, and the beats have to, the drums obviously going crazy. So that's what I've been downloading. That's what I've been downloading.
Gotcha.
That's cool. That's actually the first time I've ever heard someone like try to like break down my form pattern. It was very accurate. But he know me, so it's like he know me. So it's like,
For real.
It's
That's
fire. It's fire. I can't wait. Yeah, we got this.
I love that. You guys definitely have chemistry in the studio together. You know, can't wait to hear what you guys come up with when you actually put it down on record. You know,
yeah.
It's gonna be dope. I already know it.
Oh yeah.
Terry P in the building, Rip City Basement. SS Taj in the building, Rip City Basement. Let's go.
We gotta shout out Dre too, man. We have
You
to
know,
shout
man,
out Dre.
Dre, that K ducked off, man. He's another producer that we didn't get a chance to see or hear, but you will. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My man coming out of the October season later, and everybody, but he gonna put it down. He was hibernating for a good minute, but he out. And he got some. he got some for y'all for sure.
On me.
He got some.
Another Portland producer. Are you from here?
Yeah, I was born here.
Okay, respect. That's what's up. So you got a team around you. You got people who are supporting you, who see your vision and want to help you make it come to fruition. That's strong.
Yeah.
What is the ultimate vision for you, Taj? Like when you close your eyes and really just imagine, like, okay, this is what I want to be doing with my life. Future. Is it Super Bowl dreams? Is it collabing with certain people? Label independent? Like, what is the ultimate vision where you're heading with this?
'Cause I gave it all out. I gave it all out. There's nothing else I can do. If I know there's nothing else I can do, I know I've received everything that I've already have and what I've done, and that's even given too. Like rather, giving everything. My mission is more spiritual and is more emotional. Music is just a guidance towards it, but music isn't the end goal. If music was the end goal, I feel like a lot of people would be just lost and stuck. music is just a superpower. You know, it's just a gift. It's not a purpose. My purpose is more spiritual. It's my soul is just get it out, get it done, get it right. You know, do right by people, treat good, make sure that I'm better at when I'm gone. You know, I did it right. You know, before I did it better. You know, just make sure life is good. You know, all in between the story. You know, from living to dying. Like you did what you were supposed to, and that's it. It's really simple. I mean, it's not, but it is.
Just leaving it all on the field, not taking anything back in the locker room.
Simple, but it ain't easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
I feel that. That's what's up. Well, I support the vision. You got the Rip City basement.
Yeah,
On your side, so.
I appreciate you most. Yeah,
definitely send over that new track because I was bumping it, since it dropped, and I'm just like, dude, this is actually different from what his other stuff is.
It's very off. I feel like the last off thing I had like that was When All Falls Down. That was the last like very very house indie or pop, however you want to call it, like rave EDM type vibe. And oh man, I really like that too. See, that also like helped give me an influence to like, cause I used to go to raves a lot too. Once I started seeing how they get down and how they turn up, I was like, oh yeah, like there's different levels of fun and like turning up. So I'm like, it just made me also be like, you know what? I want my music to really step into a whole different. I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to have to do this. I want to be I want to have diverse. I want to be big. I want to be on a bigger plane. I want to get more involved in different ways, and I can create that way. And I just started like going out of the comfort zone, and I like how it's going so far. I can't wait to see where it ends up, really. Like, 'cause I think it's gonna do something crazy.
I gotta say something else too, if that's cool.
Talk
The
to
vibe
us.
I get from like your music is like, it's still high energy, but I feel like a lot of people in the city or like in the sound or like in this like thing we all doing, they got high energy, but it's destruction energy. It's not positive or speaking life or like growth. It's like killing each other or like about someone. I don't know. It's not like about building, and like it's not bringing that message or like that mission that we have. So like it ain't like really it's not really substance. It's just like for like a moment type of music. Like I can't really explain it.
And that universe gonna give you it right too. You gonna get it right. You gonna live it. You gonna get it. You gonna receive it. And I don't know. This is just part of the process of waiting a long time and taking very 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 slow steps. You know, and that's why it's gonna be really 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 wow when it does what it's going to do. Because, we didn't cheat ourselves. We took the long route. We were genuine, honest. We wanted to see everybody else do good. We root for everybody, but we watch out, and keep doing what we gotta do.
There we go.
Man, I don't know, this shit is easy, bro. I'm sorry, like, man, I really do. Like, I feel like people think too hard on it, and they just fold. Like, this is like, man, just be grateful for what you got. You get more of it, man. It's that simple.
There you go. Gratitude is everything. Is there anywhere for people who might have been listening to this interview and they might want to connect with you or send you more beats?
Yeah.
Or, or send Terry more loops?
Yeah.
Can you guys shout out like your social media? Where do you guys hang out online where people can contact you?
Yeah, you can. I'm big on IG with promotion at AWE, all as in all inspiring, AWETAHJ, all Taj. And for beats, man, hey, tap in with whoselllus@gmail.com, WHOSSELLUOS@gmail.com. I would love to work with more people. I got producers right here, but I love working with people who love collabing, whether you from the city or not. Tap in with us, and get in.
All right, so for me, hold on, wait. Is my mic even on?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, my name is Prodbyterryp. You can follow me on Instagram, Prodbyterryp on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok. If y'all want to send me beats, y'all want to collab with me, even content, even get together, just on some creative group type stuff. maybe a studio session, anything, you know, just follow me, message me on Instagram, Prodbyterryp.
There we go.
Oh yeah, go to solistic.com. You learn more about me, my history, my background. Listen to my music if you don't know. If you want a quick little bio about that, you know, so go tap in with it.
Dope. And if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Tinder. Farmers Only, Christian Mingle. I'm everywhere like air, really. At Brimboy503. Check us out at Brimboy503 at Rip City Basement. Download the Rip City Basement app and tap in with Terry P for production and my guy SS Taj if you're trying to get them bars, baby. Come on now. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the Rip City Basement. Terry P for the third time and Taj for the first time.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you, bro. It's an honor. It's a blessing. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Rip City Basement, baby. Bridging the gap between hip-hop fanatics' demand to hear technique and today's electronic obsession. We'll see you on the next one. P-Town. We out.
Yeah, that's fire.
Boom, baby.
Really good. Give me a camera guy.
You.
It's all good. I'm gonna just post this one right here.
That feeling like we did it.
Yeah, that shit was
That was
fire.
fire.
That was fire. We were in the flow state there. Just answer, question, answer, moving. That was just
Yeah, that shit was fire, bro. I appreciate it. That shit, yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was
Great
dope.
job, bro. Seriously.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Hey, you too.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, you know we did it. That shit was fun. Nice.
Yeah.
It's not always easy doing this. I've been doing it for 8 years, so I know like
Mhm.
it's not always easy for people to come in and just
Mhm.
authentically just deliver like that. So
I
just
appreciate
gotta
it.
say good job, man.
Man, thank you so much.
You guys
Yeah,
get some
that's
good
great.
footage?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot.
Sick. What do you guys got planned the rest of the day?
I don't know. I thought I had to work tonight, but I don't. So I'm probably gonna just write music or something. I don't know. So yeah, do some
Probably.
boring shit or something.
I was probably gonna swim, but it ain't looking like it's
Wait,
good
what you
weather.
gonna
I know,
swim
we're
in?
supposed to be-
Oh, it's
My
raining?
Oh yeah, I think.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna go to like a river or something? Or,
At my apartments.
What do you
oh, you have a pool in your apartment?
Yeah,
Dope,
yeah.
dope.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't have anything planned.
You guys want to go snap some pics in front of the
Yeah, might as
backdrop?
well. Let's do it.
I might hit the studio or something. See what's up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Y'all trying to come? Y'all trying to come?
Let's do it.
Right out. Yeah, back in the live room to the left.
Are you talking about studio? Yeah, probably Vancouver.
All right, we'll stand in front of this
I'm gonna go ahead
backdrop
and end
here.
this.